Hi, my name is Andy Alt, and I'm with Little Thunder. We make this guitar pickup that allows you to play guitar and bass simultaneously. The bottom two strings of this pickup allow you to play at -1 or -2 octave mode, depending on the capacitive touch that you choose. There's also another mode called low note priority that detects the lowest of the two notes you're playing and only gives the bass effect to that mode. So let's talk a little bit about this pickup and how you might be able to use it. I always wanted to have the ability to have a really deep low end on the guitar, which would be great for just playing with a drummer if the bass player wasn't available. And I looked at all the octave pedals on the market, and I just felt like there's a little bit of a missing gap. I wanted a high definition bass sound. I wanted zero latency. I wanted perfect tracking that were dedicated just to the bottom strings. So we came up with a special algorithm, a special pickup design that really truly does feature a near zero latency response from your pick hitting the string. So the moment your pick hits the string, you can feel that there's a heavy bass backing you up. And it is defined by the lowest strings. So when you play on the higher strings, you're not going to hear the bass effect. That's intentional to keep it from sounding like an octaver. It allows you to think of the guitar as two separate instruments, or an extension of the current one. It is, in fact, an electric guitar humbucker. So when it's off, it's still an electric guitar humbucker. All 6 guitar strings are coming through. And simply by touching the side or top of this pickup, we'll engage the bass signal for Little Thunder. And in that mode, you can still use the other guitar pickups in your guitar. So what that might allow you to do is to have a duo sound like a trio with your band. You can do kind of walking bass lines. And maybe I'll just go through a couple of different styles that I've grown to experience with the use of this pickup, and then we can talk about the 3 different modes it has. So again, all 6 guitar strings are coming through, but then we're getting the addition of the low E and A string as a bass signal, which is pitched at -1 octave. So I'd like to play some maybe classic rock-esque riffs that just seem to work so nicely with this as one example. Here it is. Another thing that works really great too is jazz. So here's an example of a Little Thunder engaged with a distortion circuit on the guitar portion. The bass channel is still clean, but you're going to hear distortion on the guitar. And it also works great for drop tunings. started the pickup in -1 octave mode. That's this orange indicator here on the LED. If you touch it again, you'll be in -2 octave mode. So that means the low E and your A string are being extended to the -2 octave range. It's like a 10-string guitar, and it's pretty low. So what I like doing with it is I actually like playing a little bit higher on the neck and still getting a really low sound. And again, when you touch the pickup on the side, it turns it off. Just guitar. So in any one of those modes, let's say -1 octave, when you play a chord, you might get a very thick sounding chord because you're getting the first and the fifth of that bar chord. That may not always be desirable, so we built this thing called low note priority. If you touch up here on the pickup, it'll turn amber. And what that does is it selects and identifies the lowest of those two notes on the strings, on the E and the A string, and only gives the bass effect to that note. So it's perfect for chords and strumming. Let me give you an example. So again, with it on, and with it off, hear the difference? Way less congested. So inside a Little Thunder is a humbucker for all 6 guitar strings, as well as a dedicated pickup for just the bass signal. And I wanted to show how the battery actually works. It's internal and built into a humbucker. It's all self-contained. The effects engine, the battery, and the 2 humbuckers. And it charges with a micro USB charge port. So simply plugging it in to the pickup like this, you're going to get a red, solid red LED that lets you know that the pickup is in fact charging. It takes only about 3 hours to fully charge the Little Thunder pickup before it turns green. It'll also be indicated there. And we can get over 12.5 hours of playtime with just a single charge. So what that means is, for me, that's about 2 weeks of playing at home or out and stuff like that with the active signal engaged. It's a really high density lithium polymer prism cell battery, and there's some crazy stats to it. You can recharge this battery like 500 times before it shows even a mild sign of degradation. So we're really happy with the power and how it worked out to be powering the pickup. And when you're done, you just take it out and it's ready to go. So again, the 3 modes are, when it's off, it's just a regular 6 guitar strings coming through. When you touch the side of it, you get a -1 octave effect with near 0 latency on the E and the low A string. When you touch it again, it'll turn green, and that is -2 octaves on both of those strings. Touch it again. Then, in either of those modes, when you touch this top area, it engages low note priority, which detects the lowest of the 2 notes that you're playing on those strings and only gives the bass effect to the lowest note being played. So it's perfect for strumming, it's perfect for chords, and it keeps the sound really clear and clean. A Little Thunder ships with a special stereo jack that accepts a variety of cables. If you use your regular mono cable, you'll still get your regular guitar signal. But using a stereo cable, or in this case a TRS-Y cable, you can get both guitar and bass signals coming through. And you can either choose to send both signals to one amplifier, or you can split it with this Y cable, so the guitar portion goes to a guitar amp and the bass portion goes to a bass amp. It really adds a very powerful bottom end to the sound when you have the dedicated bass amp. So on a Little Thunder, we've built this airplane mode switch. And even when you have the pickup off, it's not going to pull any charge from the battery. But if you want to be 100% sure, like let's say you're flying overseas and you want to make sure that you have a full charge when you arrive, there's a little switch here that you just move to the left, and then you can't turn it on. Move it back, and it's ready to go. We've been absolutely amazed with reception to this pickup. It is a new idea for getting a guitar to sound like an extended bass. And through online alone, it's been absolutely wonderful. We think we have a great, fantastic community, especially on our Facebook page. People sharing their videos, their photos, how they use A Little Thunder. And we just want to say thank you because this started as a Kickstarter campaign and we weren't sure how it would do. And through the last 6 months, we've seen an absolute explosion in people using it and being interested in it. So I'm Andy, I'm with Little Thunder, and I thank you so much for your support. Go check out the product on alittle.thunder.com.